So, Local Queen of Beauty, episode 2. I was saying the first chapter, yesterday actually, that I was coming down from the lawyer's office in the summer, or at the end of the summer of 1990, after many small adventures, not really anything extraordinary. Well, in some ways, yes, for my own consumption, otherwise not really. So I was coming down from the lawyer's office. The dog was waiting for me in the car. The car had the windows lowered, and he always wanted to come along. He would die if left at home. And then it also means it was in fact already fall, because in summer, even if figuratively he would vanish in thin air if left at home, physically he would die in the car if taken and kept in the car, even with windows open in summer. So now there's an indication. Investigating. Anyway, I can't remember even the season, it seems, for many of the events, never mind a date on the 22nd of August or 15th of September. And come to think of it, it could have been beyond the beginning. It must have been beyond the beginning of fall for some other reasons, for what's coming next, because she's going home. She comes back not later than a week or so, and then after a brief period, some days, she's going for holidays to see relatives in the countryside, in Oltenia somewhere. I forgot the name of the village, and we're coming to that. But that was for Christmas, so we're talking end of fall, I'd say. Anyway, so she talks to the dog. I'm upset because I've just learned I'm losing a lot of money on a loan I made. Some silly investment. A contract, yes, but anyway. And I follow her at the ticketing place. She's waiting to buy a ticket to Iași. I wait. Once or twice I just pretend I'm looking for a connection for some town or other. But then I say, oh, we've seen each other, and look, I'm just here to talk to you. If you want to talk to me, it's fine, but otherwise I'm not going anywhere, so I have to stop pretending that I'm buying anything. Anyway, were the conversation to continue, had the conversation been going on the assumption that I'm going someplace, she would talk to me, she would buy a ticket, and then I would have to buy something. Well, in comedies, I would buy a ticket to... Termină, mă, nebunule! To someplace. and maybe eventually tell the truth later. So I ask her where she wants to go, and as far as I can tell, if again I find details in a memory that has only some fog inside in most places. Portoleshete, it's his fault. He's confusing me with his bestial behavior. He's a beast, after all. So I think it was near that place near Iulia Hajdeu, where her distant relative, some kind of a second aunt or something, lived, and she stayed with her. Probably at that time, surely she stayed there, but she moved. She stayed at our place for some time. Then she stayed with this other woman. Let's call her Ioana. I don't know her name though anymore. What do I know? What am I talking about here then? So anyway, on the way, we talk about some things, I don't know, traffic, and what do you do? Yes, that must have been. You see, I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to find details, the truth, histories in here, which are otherwise left in pieces. To anticipate, there was a boom, a sort of a sentimental, psychological, emotional explosion at one point, and when it went off, like in those movies, again we see the victim coming out of a coma, but he or she has to gradually remember who she is, what happened. One silly movie actually that comes to mind is Overboard, where Goldie Hawn, her character, falls overboard. She's a rich woman on this yacht, but she's arrogant, she's abusive, she's Trump-like, and her payback, punishment, is when she comes back to life, she doesn't know who she is anymore. So the character of, was it Patrick Swayze, pretends she's his wife, and that's because she had been abusive before falling to him too. So she has to take care of him, give him beer, I don't know, act like I mean, the tables are turned. So now she's abused, poor woman. Give me beer, cook, hamburgers, I don't remember details there either. What do I remember? After all, not much. So it's coming back somehow in some parts, it seems, as with when it happened, well, broadly speaking. So I must have asked, what do you do? Well, I'm learning to pass the exam for the Academy of Film and Acting, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, Filming Institute, and I'm Miss Romania. Yeah, and I'm the Maharaja of Baluchistan, someplace. I said, not knowing that she really is, and thinking this is not possible. And come to think of it, it doesn't seem real. It seems like a dream even now. A wonderful dream for a long part of it, and a nightmare once it ended, and after it has ended, for some time I couldn't wake up. Even now, details are just as obscure as if it has been. Maybe it has been a dream. And the story is not credible. Lucky I don't have really people watching this. Because they would say, come on. First you say you, and we see what a loser you are, and you claim you had this big break in your luck. It sounds so preposterous. And then, to add insult to injury, to make the lie even more pathetic, you don't remember. How is this possible? Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just making this up.